The Gundam franchise has several anime series that has been made since the late 70s. The majority of the Gundam anime that we have watched along the years tend to share a few aspects with one another, being tragic moments, politics, and giant-ass robots. The Witch from Mercury is pretty much this. Oh, by the way, you don't have to watch the other series to understand The Witch from Mercury, since most of the series are self-contained stories. This anime series also has an episode 0 where it's obviously a prequel to the main series before we are introduced to our main cast. It's also pretty important to the main story as well, so for the love of God, do not skip this. It starts off with an introduction to Eric Samaya and her family, where her parents are researchers for a special Gundam unit and also her mother is the test pilot. Unfortunately, she's unable to activate it. Meanwhile, the company that is sponsoring the secret research on the Gundam unit decide to end their sponsorship for the Gundam research by killing most of the people at the research station with a military assault. This is due to the fact that Gundam units are special mobile suits that allow the pilots to connect their brains to the machines. This, however, has a drawback where it can harm the pilot and may lead to death. Eric and her mother then took shelter in the special Gundam unit, and Eric somehow activates the Gundam, which astonishes her mother. With the Gundam online, she unknowingly decimates most of the soldiers that attack the station and escape with their lives, except for her father, since he has to hold attackers off, which end up killing him in the end. Never expected to see an infant happily perform manslaughter in the first episode. Like what they say, you can't spell manslaughter without man's laughter. Wait, hold on. Anyways, now we can go to episode 1 where we meet our main protagonist, Suletta Mercury, a redhead, shy individual who kind of lacks proper communication skills who owns a Gundam named Ariel. She is born and raised in Mercury, kind of obvious in her surname, who is enrolled to the Astacacia School of Technology where she trains to become a competent mobile suit pilot. Suletta is on her way to school until she discovers someone in space that needs quote-unquote rescue. After rescuing the pilot, who we know later on as Miorine Rembrandt, she then scolds Suletta for doing so, because she's actually trained to handle this situation on her own. Then, they reach the school and then witness a duel that's commencing. Suletta is within crossfire between the duel and almost dies until Miorine rescues her. Later on, Suletta finds Miorine in her private garden to thank her for rescuing her. We then learn from Miorine that duels are used to determine what's right and wrong, and where pilots can bet on money, authority, or even their hand in marriage, like what happened previously. Then, one of the duelists from before named Guel Jaturk barges in to force her to live with him since Miorine is his fiancée, according to the school rules that were made by her father, where the best pilot in the school, also known as the Holder, will have her as their fiancée. After Miorine refuses his offer, Guel then destroys the garden until Suletta timidly stops him. She then asks him to duel her with the conditions that if Suletta wins, Guel must apologize to Miorine. He accepts that offer and offers her his condition where if Guel wins, Suletta must leave the school. Later they start dueling and Suletta easily beats him and ends up as a Holder. Technically this makes her Miorine's spouse. Now, come to think of it, they never said that the Holder has to be male. Now, Suletta and Miorine has to endure future bullshit that's thrown onto them, whether it be asshole adults, racist students, or, worst of them all, shitty parents, which is mostly solved by trial by combat. One thing that I like about mech anime such as Gundam are the fight scenes. Normally, you'll get to witness horrible CGI when mechs are involved. Good thing Sunrise Studios decide to make the mechs be mostly drawn 2D. The fluidity of the fights in the anime makes it entertaining for me to watch, especially when you can see mobile suits get ripped to shreds as well. So that's a +1 for The Witch from Mercury. Also, one of the best aspects of this anime is the soundtrack that accompanies the action scenes. Music in battle scenes amplifies the epicness of the battles themselves. This is why movies like The Avenger use epic soundtracks to accompany the scenes that glue our eyes to the screen, while we get to see them kick some ass. This applies for The Witch from Mercury as well. Kudos to the composer of this anime for making the fight scenes here more entertaining to watch. Like the other Gundam series, politics, the military, and all kinds of bullshit are involved as well. Although our main setting is in the school, those aspects are still the main components of the story. Whether it be debating on whether or not they should scrap Suletta's Gundam and kick her out of school since Gundams are illegal thanks to Miorine's asshole of a father, or the fact that there are genetically modified humans in this series. As of now, there's not much info on what the endgame of the anime is going to be like, so I can't say much about the politics in the anime. Keep in mind, as of making this video, we are still within the first core of the series. Let's not forget about racism as well. It doesn't matter if you live in other planets, assholes, I mean human beings, will find a way to make things worse for all of us. That being racist to other people from other planets, mostly to people from Earth. This acts kind of a subplot to the anime where students will mistreat or bully other Earthlings or even sabotage them in exams. A solution to this? Simple. Take her as an example. There are also several things I've noticed while watching this anime. It's the fact that there are many things that don't line up. First is Suletta herself. From the entire time we have seen her, she's never been called Eric this whole time. Neither her mother calls her that. Hell, she even looks different too if I recall correctly. Why she calls Prospero now? Initially I thought that maybe they changed the names to hide themselves from the public. As I continue to watch later episodes, there are also a few hints here and there that also implicate something sinister that's going on behind the scenes. This becomes obvious later on as well. Plus, Suletta calls her Gundam Ariel as her sister, and that they grew up together. She also calls the Gunbits as everyone, like they're sentient beings or something. Who knows, maybe they used the souls of dead children to make the Gunbits and Ariel. There are many speculations of what's going on in the story, but so far we have to wait for later episodes, and as of now, the anime is pretty well made if you ask me. The battles are entertaining to watch, and the music reinforced that as well. The story provides a lot of foreshadowing to make us have loads of guesses on what's what. So, if you're someone who enjoys well choreographed fights that's reinforced with fitting soundtrack, and an interesting story that gives us more questions than answers, while some answers are hidden in plain sight, then this anime is for you.